Can you stop with the teasing then? Even I'm reaching my limit.
500 years and you're still not used to it? Sounds like you need more practice.
At least spare me for the day. I can't take the mental torment right now. I'm running on fumes. Investigated the shogunate officials' nightmares, analyzed the traces of yokai power around Mount Yogo. Oh, and worked on some new game stages, of course.
All in one night?
Well, I didn't want someone to ruin the Mikawa Flower Festival, but I also wanted to do my best for my part of the festival. Besides, I've talked to many patients who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Compared to that, complaining about one night of hard work is a little unreasonable, don't you think? You're very persuasive, Kokomi. It would seem you also have a talent for clinical psychology. I'll leave it to you two then.
Sweet dreams! Mizuki really cares about the festival, huh? She's putting so much pressure on herself.
Perhaps she's reminded of the festivals of the past when I was just a kid, and Mizuki a young Baku. We would rush past the other yokai, desperate to get the first piece of fried tofu from the ramen stand. It would seem she hasn't forgotten, even after 500 years. You know, there's something to be said for knowing when to keep your mouth shut, little one. Well, enough about the past. We must focus on the matter at hand.
But you didn't notice anything suspicious, right? That should mean the culprit didn't sneak in.
That's one possibility. The other is that the culprit's transformation is even more convincing than we imagined. In that case, we need a detective with a more professional skill set. Or we need to find a way to provoke them and get their facade to crack.
But that sounds dangerous.
If the culprit is deep in disguise, a slight provocation won't completely expose them. What we need is to create reasonable doubt, make the culprit question whether their cover is blown. As they hesitate over whether to make some kind of last stand, that is our chance. Oh, A didn't tell you? Allow me to show you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Mikawa Flower Festival, it is my honor to announce an esteemed guest from Tenshukaku has agreed to take part in this year's festival. Please welcome Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder.
So this was your plan, Miko?
Well, not bad, right?
Wow, that was quite the entrance. Hyman can't believe she agreed to that. you clue us in earlier? We wasted all that time asking pointless questions. Another day of hard work. Where did the time go?
Almighty Shogun! Glory to your everlasting reign! Welcome. Welcome.
This stall looks familiar. Yet it would seem the ownership has changed hands.
You must be thinking of Tomoki. He wasn't feeling well today, so I'm filling in.
I see. Yet, you remind me of someone. A Doshin from the Tenryo Commission.
What are you looking at, eh?
The food offerings. Although this vendor seems... working? Ah. I see. I appreciate your dedication, sir.
Well, of course. It's an honor to serve such esteemed guests.
No need for formalities. I'll take 3 orders of dongo milk.
Right away.
3 orders? So Paimon gets one too?
Yes. I wanted to thank you for accompanying me. Without you by my side, I imagine the people here would be on edge even now. I have my reasons for being here, of course, but I would hate to tarnish the festive atmosphere. Indeed. The Mikawa Flower Festival. Hundreds of years have passed since I last partook of the festivities. Much is different this time. The people, the place, the games. Yet, the name endures, and the joy of celebration along with it. I suppose that, in itself, is a form of eternity.
Traveler, Paimon. And the almighty Shogun?
Oh, Mizuki! Looks like you got some much-needed rest.
Yume Mizuki. Thank you for your aid earlier.
Of course. I'm always willing to help. It's my duty. I wish I could have dispelled the nightmares, but this situation is uncharted territory for me.
Even so, relieving the pain of the nightmares is no small feat. You honor the legacy of the Yumeku Ippaku.
So not even Mizuki could fix it? What's going on with this nightmare creature?
Let's save the difficult questions for later. Actually, I came here to ask you something. Want to come to the Isa bathhouse with me? Most of the contestants will be there. Oh, and don't worry about payment. It's my treat.
Really? Yes, yes, let's go!
Well, game development isn't easy. Most of the contestants are exhausted and could use a break. You've been under a lot of pressure yourselves with the investigation and all, so I thought you might like to join.
Of course we would! Right, Traveler?
I will remain here. I rarely have time away from Tenshukaku, and I would like to continue perusing the stalls.
Aw, that's too bad.
I almost forgot. Miko wanted to talk to you, Traveler. I'll take you to her first.
Oh? Well, why don't we all go?
Almighty Shogun, your dango milk is ready.
Oh, delicious.
No need, Shogun. Miko just had some quick things to go over with the judges, that's all. You and Paimon can wait here. We'll only be a minute. All right, now we can talk freely. I think something's off with the Shogun. You've been with her the whole day. Have you noticed anything? Exactly. You noticed too. I've witnessed a lot of cases where patients, for a variety of reasons, are unwilling or unable to seek help. Unfortunately, that only exacerbates the problem. Until their emotions become so heavy, even the strongest of people collapse under the weight. I see those warning signs in the Shogun. Humans, yokai, and archons bear the same capacity for emotion and are naturally susceptible to the same mental turmoil. It's very possible that someone who appears strong on the outside has learned to compartmentalize their negative emotions, and that is far from healthy. Anyway, the quickest route to curing the mind is through the heart. That's where you come in, Traveler. Approaching someone in a professional capacity often makes them more guarded. But don't worry, you'll still have my help. Here, with these 2 special coupons, you can get into Isa Bathhouse after closing. Then, this is what you're gonna do.
Finally, you're back! Paimon's had 2 servings of dango milk already!
Sorry for the wait. It sounds like the Traveler has other plans, Paimon. So we'll head to the bathhouse on our own.
Huh? You're not coming? Okay. Paimon will bring you back a hot spring egg.
There is no need to stay behind on my behalf. If you leave now, I'm sure you can catch up. What makes you say that? If my presence makes them nervous or impedes their ability to relax, does that not defeat the purpose of going to the hot springs? I already disturbed their progress by coming to the festival. The last thing everyone needs is more distractions. As you know, this body is hardly that fragile. It can operate for another 100 years with no issue. Mortals are weak in body and mind. If there is a choice of who to bear such a burden, naturally that person should be me. What does it matter? The world is not so easily bent to one's will. What clever verbal tricks, traveler. It appears you've been spending too much time with Miko. You think you can get away with manipulating the Shogun? I wouldn't be so sure. Persistent indeed. Very well. As you proposed, we shall set out at midnight. Well, shall we head out? All right, no reason to delay. Steam replete with the scent of orchids. Water that turns the complexion a blushing pink. So, this is a hot spring. Yes, there are royal hot springs near Tenshukaku, but the plans were set in motion only after Hiragi Hiroshi introduced the Snezhnayan blast furnace to Inazuma, and that was 500 years ago. When the project was complete, I was already in the plain of Euthymia. And naturally, the body of the Shogun has no need for such luxuries. The members of the Kanjo Commission were once friends with Makoto and the Kitsune Saigu. Although mere mortals, those who managed to survive back then were special individuals indeed. What makes you say that? Now I see why my officials claim that the hot springs facilitate conversation. Even I find myself divulging more than intended. You're correct. Following the dark disaster 500 years ago, a nightmare engulfed Inazuma. On a battlefield consumed in darkness, our soldiers fought against dark forces, creatures capable of possessing people and trapping them in nightmares. Even the Yumekui Baku could do nothing to wake them. Perhaps not. The battle was intense. Those who stood up in defense of this land knew the chance of survival was slim. In the face of certain death, surely a nightmare is nothing to fear. But what if I told you this? If the person trapped in the nightmare was strong enough to overcome incapacitation, it would become a waking nightmare instead. The person would lose all capacity to distinguish dream from reality, perceiving everything in the real world as a continuation of the war, and every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. And every precious thing in life as an enemy to be annihilated. That is a far more painful nightmare, both for the person in question and those around them. Yes. I unleashed Muso no Hitotachi and struck her down. No need. I have no regrets. I know it was the right decision, both for Inazuma's sake and her own. If necessary, I would do it again. Well, it's about time you two showed yourselves, yes? You've listened in long enough.
Oh. Before you say anything, this part wasn't me.
Well, since the cat's out of the bag, how about a hot spring tea party?
Hey!
Ah, nice and warm. No wonder the hot springs relaxed your inhibitions, eh?
So who came up with this idea? I want the truth.
I guess both of us?
Well, I happened to consult a certain clinical psychologist about how to get an old friend to open up. In her expert opinion, doing something new with a trusted companion in a new environment can make someone less guarded. Looks like it worked like a charm.
It's one thing to trust that Miko has good intentions, but would you let your guard down around her?
Your concern is misplaced. I kept these matters to myself because I was unsure whether this incident is connected to the past, and I did not want to interfere with the investigation. If the investigation reached an impasse, or new clues pointed to the nightmare from back then, naturally, I would have discussed this intel with you.
Intel, huh? It appears you still don't understand why I wanted you to open up in the first place.
Help!
Help me! Sounds like it came from outside. Let's check it out. Oh no! Someone's unconscious!
It seems different in some respects. Step back and allow me to examine her.
What's going on?
Almighty Shogun?
What happened just now? What frightened you?
Shogun,
It's all right. With the Shogun here, nothing can hurt you. Just take a deep breath and tell us what happened.
I almost fainted again just now. Yes, I was on my way to Uyu restaurant. And as I was crossing the bridge, I saw someone staring at me from behind a tree. It was hard to make out their appearance in the dark, but I had a bad feeling. So I tried to get a closer look in the moonlight. And it was me! In that moment, I thought about how people who see their doppelganger usually end up dead, and I fainted from the shock. I don't remember anything after that.
A doppelganger in Inazuma City. But we only detected traces of the nightmare around Mount Yogo.
I heard that people encountered doppelgangers at Mount Yogo too! Could it be the work of some terrible yokai?
Now that we have an understanding of the situation, why don't I take you to the police station to file a report?
Okay.
The situation is getting worse. If the doppelganger is limited to the festival grounds, that's one thing. But appearing on a random street in Inazuma City...
On the bright side, the victim seems okay this time.
Bad news, Shogun!
A Tenryo Commission official? What's wrong?
Another victim! At the festival! Kappa is trapped in a nightmare!
What?
But Sara and the others were keeping watch.
Make haste. Back to Mount Yogo at once.
Kappa! Kappa! Excuse me. Let me take a look.
Mizuki! Traveler! Finally, you're back!
Now is not the time to cast blame. Did anyone witness the attack?
We split up for just a second, and the next thing we knew, he was on the ground.
Oh, it must be some terrible yokai.
How is he, Mizuki?
It's strange. I can't perceive his nightmare. It's almost like he's not there at all.
The yokai! It must be getting stronger!
Kappa, oh, please don't die.
No. It was I who underestimated the enemy. I who allowed us to continue the festival despite the potential dangers. Sara, what is the status of the other contestants and staff? Good. By decree of the Shogun, I declare that the Mikawa Flower Festival is...
Wait.
What is it, Miko?
You're being too hasty, eh? I understand your concern for the people, but I urge you to think this through, or we risk playing into the enemy's hand. Considering your history with nightmares, you have better cause than anyone to exercise caution. But do you truly believe that what we're facing now is just a nightmare?
Explain.
Call it intuition. If you want the truth, perhaps Doshin Shikanoin could shed some light. I believe there's been a break in the case.
Kappa is made of wood?
No wonder I couldn't sense the nightmare.
I see. So the doppelganger infiltrated the festival as Kappa and is currently hiding in Inazuma City. Is that correct?
Kozo and his two friends were together the whole time, too. They would have noticed if someone was acting weird.
Kikaku! Kikaku! Run!
Tetsunosuke?
They're getting away!
Aren't you supposed to be in Inazuma City?
And leave you two by yourselves? That's not the Tanuki way!
No fighting! Let's go!
Buckeye Donaki! Those little terrors! Come on, let's go after them! Paimon's had enough of these things! What even are they? More Buckeye Donaki tricks?
Nothing's working! The humans are catching up!
Little rascals! Stop running!
You wish!
Transform! Stupid humans won't be able to recognize us! You can't see me. You can't see me. I'm up on fire.
Tetsunosuke, you idiot! Don't tell them the three of us turned into bonfires!
Hear that, Traveler? Bonfires! 3 of them! We'll show them, stupid.
Ouch! Transform!
They're gone again! Oh, what are they this time? Some kind of stone or brick?
Oh!
Yeah.
Save us, Tsukumo!
Kichiro, protect us!
We're almost rid of them.
Ah! A Tengu! Tengu was flying! Tengu is a cheater!
Tengu, why are you helping the humans? Tengu is a yokai!
Shogun? That's the leader of the humans! Shogun sent people to steal our land! Shogun is bad!
Calm yourself, Sarah. Let's hear them out.
Shogun sent humans to steal our home!
And the Mikawa Flower Festival! Shogun is making yokai serve the humans!
Serve the humans? He's not talking about the game development, is he?
Shogun even forced Great Baku yokai to work all night!
Oh, you mean yesterday? That was my choice, actually.
Jeez, where are these ideas coming from?
Stay back! Humans want to enslave us again!
Hold on. Something's not right. We should try a different approach.
No need. I know what's wrong. They're trapped in a nightmare.
What are you doing? Trying to put Tetsunosuke to work?
Kinkaku doesn't want to stay up all night.
Servitude, enslavement, these might sound like ridiculous misunderstandings to us, but that is their reality right now. A world of despair and fear, where enemies lurk at every turn, devoid of even a single shred of light.
So they're sleepwalking? How do we wake them up?
If we knew how, we would have done so back then.
Give us your worst! Kinkaku will never leave the Tanuki path! Kinkaku will die before serving you!
Truly?
What are you doing? No, don't!
The humans are everywhere. We can't hide forever.
How long have we been hiding? 100 years? 500 years?
No idea. If Ioroi was still around, he would remember.
Shh, quiet! Someone's coming.
This is a fine piece of land. The grain yield should be exceptional.
Remember to check for traces of yokai in the surrounding area, by order of the Shogun.
By order of the Shogun, we are to exterminate all yokai that cross our path.
Why so hasty?